What is going on, guys? It's your boy Dean, and I am joined with my teammates who thankfully let me on their team because holy shit, dude, I was feeding all weekend. How you guys doing?
Pretty good.
What's up?
You guys want to say you guys want to give like a quick introduction of what you guys played? I guess I'll start off. Yeah, so we joined the 18-man big team event down in Chicago. We were the buff guy rough rides. We ended up getting second, little spoiler. And I was on Amulet Haven because I was our third, pretty much. Like the third person gets to choose their deck. That they just have to hopefully win a couple games. 2-deck format is what it feels like. And I thought Amulet Haven was really good. I wanted to really play Alexiel, so I was hoping that I could just dodge the bad matchups, and that did not happen in Swiss, but it thankfully happened a little bit in Top Cut. And yeah, so that's why I brought that deck. And what did you guys bring?
You want to go first as captain?
Yeah, sure. I'm Ali. I've been playing Shadowverse pretty much since the game came out. I brought Dirt with me, so I was the rune player for our team, and did okay. Had some unfortunate losses to some bad matchups as well. And that's about it.
Greg played obviously original Shadowverse for like 5 or 6 years, and I played SBE since day one because I was super excited about it. At Chicago, I played bats or vampires, which actually I was max rarity since set 2 because I just love vampires in general. So at every single game that I play, I always see if there's a vampire type deck you can play, and obviously this one had it. So set 2, when the first thing it came out, I built the deck and it was hot garbage, but I didn't care. I played it anyway because it was fun. And then when I heard that when the set 9 came out in Japan, I was all like, oh, it's getting support. Cool. And then it's tier 1, even better. So obviously I built this as soon as possible, and that's what I took to Chicago and did pretty well with it, I would say.
Yeah, so I guess we'll just kind of give our like round by round, just generally break down, and then how we feel about our decks at the end.
Yep.
Just pretty casual talk. Yeah, round 1. Were your opponents new? My opponent said he hadn't been playing very long.
My opponent seemed like he was new.
Okay, yeah. My opponent won the die roll as sword, and I thought, no, in testing, this was so fucked up. And then he says, I'll go second. And I said, oh, baby, let's go. We won the die roll. So I got to, curve out everything and then kind of just keep him off of, the big stormers. I think that the second that you take second as sword, that's the wrong play, especially against Amulet Haven.
Yeah.
I don't know what your goal is there, but I'm happy to let you do that. I guess the idea is that you can go turn 2 Selly Evo plus the fat guy. Is that right? Into round me Evo. The swordsman. I don't know his name.
The 2/2 that gets buffed.
Yeah, that one. That's the play, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I think that's the
line. The one mana guy.
You just build the board and then try to round me and kill him on as quickly as possible.
Yeah, I guess that's the idea behind going second, but to me it just means that I get to put down my healing cards more, and I feel like the pressure's a lot less from you.
I feel like that works better going first, because if you go turn 1 Celia and then turn 2 spend 1 point to evolve her and then use the other point to play the fatty, that guy. Yeah. And then turn 3 you just slam Romia. You don't need to go second. It's better on first.
You Romia have free votes anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what the actual goal. So. I don't know what the goal is. I don't know what card they want to have the Evo points for, but I'm perfectly fine letting them take it when they want it. So that game was over pretty quickly. It wasn't quick because my deck can't win quick, but yeah, that was my round 1. What was your guys's?
My first round was against bats. My opponent also seemed like he was kind of new. I'm not too sure, but basically I just kind of staved off the early aggro. I searched for the barrage off my Medusas to have it, so he can't build a board and just do a big bat face turn on me. And I just kind of controlled the game, and he never saw the Rose Queen to bail him out of the long game. So I eventually just overwhelmed him with burn and big bodies because Faust is really fucking cool. Especially how the game went.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine was against Disdain Dragon. He seemed, I wouldn't say he was new. He seemed like he knew the deck pretty well. He might have been like relatively new, like maybe not like a day one player, or maybe he played for a bit and then took a huge break and came back. I can't remember exactly, but he knew the game decently enough. And yeah, he had Disdain, and I think it was just a case of my aggro just was stronger. Like he didn't see enough key pieces, and I just kind of between an aggro versus an aggro, just whoever gets off to the right foot first, and that's just kind of how that one went.
Okay. Yeah. Next round, I fight. Oh, I've talked to this guy before. Not 100% his name. I've talked to this guy before in like Toronto, and he was playing bats, which is in testing. The matchup is they like don't play cards, and then they blow you the fuck up with Rose Queen, and there's not a thing you can do about it. It's really sad actually how like one-sided the matchup is.
Yeah.
But I wasn't ready. I did not actually account for something else in the matchup when our testing, and that was terrorist. So on his first Rose Queen turn, he shows me his hand. It's got another Rose Queen and both Kudlaks. And then he starts healing. He doesn't blow me up. He starts healing. And I'm like, oh, no, wait, what's this? And then I managed to play through all 3 Vania Evos, both Kudlaks and both Rose Queens. And he's completely out of damage. But there's this time limit when we sit down. So in testing, we had never I had just been getting killed by the Rose Queen or like hit to like fucking 4 or something and then dead, and then maybe I can like crack back with like an Alexio plus like some other plays. And my friend would always say, better have it. I've never seen somebody just like heal 6 on the Rose Queen.
Yeah,
because that was like actual terrorism. But yeah, so I double lost. How'd you guys do?
My game, I played the mirror. Dirt mirror, pretty lame mirror to be honest. We just kind of sit there and dirtle, play looping Seiryotennan and Faust as often as we can. We got to a point where we had a bunch of golems in REXs. So I almost was able to burn them out, but I was like short a play point to be able to kill him, so I left him at like 2 or 3. And then he tried to go for the same play, but he misplayed and he didn't actually have enough board slots to put another golem out to finish killing me. So he had to pass turn. I just put up my last golem and burned him and killed him. So that's how that went.
Lucky break.
Yeah, and then mine. Oh my god, this was the one game. Spoiler alert: this is the one game that I lost all day.
He was our carry.
And it was, yeah, it was against 118 Seth Shadow, a YouTuber, which people may have heard of. He does all those like market watch videos. He's fun fact, he's like my nemesis in this game because like when I go to like kind of larger events like showdowns or like release events that have like $50, $100 promos on the line, somehow it always ends up being me and him in finals at least like a couple times. Getting a buy card, and then there was one like to get the Spinaria promo that's going for like $90 now. Both times it was him and me in finals, and then I can't beat him. So literally when I sat down to this guy in Chicago and like I see that he's my opponent at C, and I'm like, oh no, come on, not you again. And I'm like, I can't beat this man. Except usually he was on Marwin, like Control Haven. This time he's on Puppet Forest. And I'm like, I also don't like this deck. For exactly the reasons what happened. All right, so I forget who won the die roll, but I remember holding up Whispers on his Puppet or his Orcus turn. I can't remember if it was on his turn 3 going with the point orb, or if it was he was just going first and it was his turn 4. I forget which one, but he had the mana to do Orcus, so I just held up 2 mana, and then he just like did something else, and I'm like, oh crap. Well, I don't want to just like waste this 2 mana, so I ended up spending the Whisper on whatever was the biggest thing that he played that turn. I think he never even ended up playing Orcus. I'm not even 100% sure if it was in his list or not. I assume it is, obviously, but like I never saw it. But what ended up happening was on his turn 5, he had a play where he put out a really big Anastasia with like a huge board. And then on my next turn, I could answer like some of it. I couldn't answer the Anastasia. I cleared, I think, almost everything else, but I had to leave up the Anna. So then his next turn, he plays another Anastasia. And at the end of that turn, he had a board of 7/7s. And it got back to me, and I'm just like, I don't think there's a card in my deck that does anything to this board. So I just like put up the fist. I'm like, you got it.
That's the puppet classic.
Yeah. Got absolutely high roll demolished. And I'm just like, all right, well, you know what? We tried.
Looks like
So that's how that game went.
Puppet might be the back counter. I saw it's making a comeback next set, so we'll have to see. See.
Yep.
Next round. So we double lost.
That was a double loss.
We're at the bottom of the 1-1 bracket, and I guess that we were fighting the Kokomo boys, like first round opponents. They were telling us like, man, our opponents were like turbo new and not on like real decks. My opponent, I guess, was playing bats and didn't even have Vanias in his main board. The 3-drop, he couldn't afford them, and I lost. I lost because he saw both Rose Queens. He started off with triple white. He had like by turn 4, he had played all 3 whites on board, and he was at like 29 health before the first Alexiel came down. And I'm just like, I'm having to like not put down Tenko's Shrine because it's like an active like search for me. And then I'm like fucking like having to spend mana on Themis, can't develop the Tenko to get the chip damage in. Alexiel is not even putting his health into the red. He's still in the white health. And then he's like spamming the heal 2s off of, he's like playing down Kudlax and spamming white plus like the ping one, the Raven. And I'm just like, dude, I can't, I just double lost this shit. And so then I hear Ollie and Greg, little spoiler, I hear them say, our game is done. And I said, oh, thank God, mine doesn't matter. I'm going to try to push this guy's shit in. So I get hit with like, I think it was like triple or quad buff. I get hit with like triple or quad buff into fucking dead off of 3 bats on board. And I went, well, at least the game is over. At least we didn't double loss. So... So yeah, once again though, the fucking downside of my deck was coming up, and that's these people can just heal. They can heal, and that's rough.
Yeah,
healing is cheating.
When I do it, at least I have the decency to burn when I'm healing. Okay, they're just healing.
True.
It's cringe.
Yeah.
I played against Dragon, and my opponent I don't think knew how to play the game. The first turn of the game, when I went first and I played my card and passed, and he's just looking at his hand, and I'm like, I'm gonna draw for turn, and he said no. I'm like, I what? Are you sure? You kind of have to. I'm sorry. So he did. He just kept like fumbling around, misplaying. He was like, he tried to play the what's the 2-drop spell that when you ditch it you draw a card?
Oh, Trail of Light? Yeah.
He tried to play Trail of Light and then draw ditch off of it. I'm like, that's not how that card works. But like I just kept putting bodies on the board.
I lost this round.
Swinging and I killed them.
I lost this round.
Yeah, it was an interesting game.
I want a tournament report.
Yeah. Oh yeah, so this one, round 3. Yeah, this is versus Machina Rune.
They have their move for your bats.
So this was a fun game. I mean, no, I don't really know much about the guy I was facing. He had like a face mask on. I don't know if he was like sick or something, or just didn't want to catch anything. Don't really know much about him. He didn't really speak much. He seemed like he knew like what he was doing pretty well. Like he seemed like he played the game like well enough. And he just got really unlucky, I think. I mean, it's also Machina Rune, which is not typically the strongest deck in the format at the moment, but it didn't help that he didn't see like any removal, I don't think. Like I played like Summon Bloodkin on turn 1, and then turn 2 I played Small Vania, so she's a 3/3. and then he played like a guy, and then on my turn, I like played more bats, and then like sacked a bat to blow up his guy, and then shove face, and then sacked the bat to blow up his guy, and then on his turn he just like played another guy, and then like on my turn I had more bats and another small Vania. This time she's like a 4/4 or a 5/5, and I'm just like swing a whole bunch of damage and blow up your guy again, and like so like by turn 5 it was over. Like he could not remove my Vanias, and the 2 creatures that he played just got blown up by Vania effects, and it was just like it was just done. It was done in like 5 minutes. It was so fast. I felt bad. I actually felt like really just a little upset. I'm like, I'm really sorry, man. Like, cool deck. I like Machina and it's really cool. And I was like 5 minutes. All right, I'm just gonna watch this game now and sit here awkwardly and try not to say anything.
Watch me crash out.
Like, I felt bad. Like, poor Tetra. No love for Tetra.
Well, the deck is bad. Let's be honest. Next round, though, we get to see the Kokomo boys, my locals, Timmy Two Soul. Thankfully, I was so glad because the team was Harrison, the guy who does my thumbnails, and he was on bats, and he had seen my deck and knew to just blow me the fuck up. And the other guy was Cody, who has been on some set reviews with me, and he, in testing, had been like always 1 or 2 damage off of killing me. It's like I was able to barely clutch the Draconic Duelist matchup. And so he, like, the night before was, like, shoving Fortes in his deck and shit. And I'm like, dude, I'm getting, like, head-hunted right now. I'm getting head-hunted. And so I said, Ollie, tell me where I'm sitting. I'm not going to look. I don't want to know. So I definitely don't want to be head-hunted. And I ended up seeing cards from Timmy Two Soul, who was on Dirt, Stinky Doo-Doo deck. Amulet Haven into Dirt, I swear to God, is like a fucking 9/1 matchup. It is unbelievably, like, sided in the Amulet Haven favor. They only have 29 health, so they can't terrorist heal against you. And you get, their deck is like a little bit slower, so you get to set up usually Candelabra safely into the White Fang Temple safely, and then after that you have enough heal to stay out of range of everything. And once Alexio comes down, the swing is so huge that you'll never lose after. And you also have the Space Needle to clear up the Rileys. So that matchup was, yeah, I mean, he hit me down to like 10, and then a couple turns later I won at like 30. So it is unbelievably like one-sided, and I was very happy to have gotten the matchup that I wanted, even though I had to kill a friend to do it. So I'm sorry.
I played against Bats. I think it was Harrison.
Yeah.
That game went more along how the matchup normally goes, where I just try to, like, stave off the aggro. I get barrage when I can, and I don't let him just like build a board and hit a huge face turn. Problem is, he saw his Rose Queen, and I'm pretty sure I just lose if Rose Queen hits the board, because they heal so much that I can't actually like catch up in damage, and they just nuke my board. And I have in my notes that I got Rose Queen for 15.
Oh yeah, he showed you 7 2-drops.
Yeah. And yeah, I died.
Amazing. Yeah, I was against, was it Siva, right?
Yeah.
I think. Yeah, and he was on Draconic Duelist. That game, he got pretty unlucky again, I think, as well, because he was forced to do a couple plays that he really didn't like doing. He explained kind of after the game, like his last turn, I believe he had to put up a what's the storming horse girl, the 6-drop.
Ogre Cap.
Yeah, Ogre Cap. He had Ogre Cap to clear board. I think like earlier than he wanted to. I think he also like didn't see like any Fortes. I don't know if he plays them, but like he was missing a lot of pieces of removal. I think like the one of the board clears he like didn't see until way later. And it was just kind of just a slowly overwhelming pressure of just like the bats and the aggro just pushing in. I can't remember if I even had a Rose Queen that game. I don't think it came to Rose Queen. I think it's just like he just didn't see the pieces he needed, and just like after the Ogre Cap, the next turn was just like I had like some kind of huge push. I think it was just the Vania for lethal, if I remember correctly. But yeah.
We were talking after, I think that was the real problem with Draconic Duelist, this format. It's like a new thing that you could bring, but like it was very draw dependent. If you see the Romelia early and you can see the Roy, for the search for either ramp or for like the claw to like stave off the aggro. You have a really good deck. The problem is if you don't see those, until you get the aftershock on the board, you don't really have a deck. Is the only problem. But if you can get that, you do have a good deck. So it's like he wanted to bring Mysteria, but I think he got baited by Dirt. I don't think Dirt's as good as people say. I don't think that you have to have Dirt on your team. I think that 18 people brought Dirt, and that's why Dirt's on every top team.
Yeah. Yeah.
Except for those Valdane, Machina, Rune people, but they don't count. They don't count. So yeah, we're like 3-2 now at this point, and we're feeling pretty good because the tournament turnout was low, but we get put into first seed, which is fucked up. Because we're 3-1. We're 3-1. Sorry. Yeah, we get put into first seed.
Yeah.
Which with our tiebreakers is like the last thing we want, and we have to play it out. So I'm fighting Sword, and he goes first. Damn, that was a fast game. I thought I was dead on 5 to Ralmia Evo. He didn't have the Ralmia, so instead of living at, because I had a Dark Offering, so I was going to live at 3. I ended up living at like 8 and then dying like 2 turns later. It was like unbelievably one-sided. You just get snuffed out. You don't have... I think he even had a slow start where it's like his first play was like a War Dog on 2. But the problem is that like the Amulet Haven deck needs like 3 to 4 turns to set up. You need to get the Candelabra down. You need to get the Temple down to get the Deer out later. You need like these you need to like pass like 1 to 3 turns. And if you don't get you need to pass like 3 to 4 turns you need to pass. And then afterwards you get back. And the problem is Sword doesn't give you 4 turns to pass. You're dead on turn 3 if you play like that. So it is what it is. I got destroyed by the matchup that I knew was bad.
Yep.
Yeah, I played against Bats again, round 5. Kind of the same deal. Like I do what I can to like, you know, keep the board under control. Build up my own board. Once again, I mean, my opponent just my deck's too slow to kill him before they can get to Rose Queen, and he got to the Rose Queen, cleared my board, healed more than I can deal with, and then just eventually cleaned me up from there. That's about all it is.
Yeah, that was round 5. This is against Dirt Rune. I'm trying to remember. This one, it was a Rose Queen finish. Can't remember a whole lot about this one. I remember it being like pretty back and forth. I think it was actually like a little close, but I'm pretty sure I remember like closing it out. Like just I had like a pretty solid Rose Queen, and then like either it was that turn or there's the turn after. I think that's the one I'm the most foggy on. But I'm pretty sure it was a Rose Queen finish, and it was like it wasn't really overwhelming in any direction. It was just kind of like a generic, like pretty solid game. Wish I could remember more details about it, but it was just kind of like a generic Bats versus Dirt game where Rose Queen takes it.
Yeah,
rinse, repeat kind of thing.
That's like a pretty unfavored matchup for Dirt.
Yeah, it's so bad. It's easily the worst matchup for Dirt.
Well, you haven't seen Amulet Haven.
Okay, well, that deck's not real, so.
Oh, we saw it in Top Cut. Fuck you, Ollie. Anyway, we ended up. I was in despair. I was feeding. I was 2-3 with a double loss, dude. I felt terrible, and thankfully we got 6. And I was like, oh, okay, 6. Now I get to die in top 8 again. And my 18 man. Well, thankfully, after deck check and the judges literally looking inside of my sleeves to tell me that my card was damaged. Yeah, fuck you, Bushiroad. Yeah, I've never had that happen. I've have a lot of tops, and I've never had a judge. I've had, oversleeve wrong, this thing wrong, need to swap it. There's like a speck of dust or something, or maybe your actual sleeve inside of the over has something wrong. I've never had this, dude. The dude, because there's like sleeve where you can see the card if you like pop it open, so you can unsleeve fast. Dude, like holds the deck and like squeezes and goes, "Oh, one of your cards is damaged." Dude, what is this? What is this? Okay, sure, thank you. So now I have to I have to seal my deck now, which is going to be very annoying when I go to unsleeve that soon. But yeah, enough of that aside. We get into top 8, and I get to see Runecraft across from me, and I think, thank the Lord, an actual win again. But the guy definitely had known the matchup because one of his teammates was on the exact same deck as me. And he tried to pressure me super hard early. I don't know how the fuck people draw like this, by the way. His opener, he had played by turn 4, 3 summoning drills. And he had discarded a Riley as well. And I'm just like, dude, who opens like this? And he's Seiryotennan as well. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah, that's a god opener.
Okay,
Yeah.
The good thing is that summoning drills doesn't give them extra health, so I was able to clear up the golems. But I'm staring down like these 5-2 golems in the EX area. I'm like, this is kind of fucked up. This is like, what is this? What is the start of his? Yeah, what a good opener. But the too bad the matchup is really bad for him. So I was able to win. But I do want to say a nice shout out to his tech, which was I saw 2 golem summonings from him, or not golem summonings. Golem Rampage, is that the one? The guy's flexing. The guy's flexing.
Spell? Yeah,
the 3
like
drop that burns 3.
yeah.
That card, you clear your board out of the board lock, because if you don't know, the big thing with the matchup is
Locking yourself.
Like it's too often the dirt can like lock itself on like 10 to 12 damage on board, and you as an Amulet Haven player could just go, I'm gonna heal to 14 and pass. And so the Golem Rampage would have like hard punished me if I had to take that line. Thankfully I was able to see enough removal that I didn't need to like board lock into a lethal push. But that was like the big thing, and then yeah, his good opener. And after that, it's just like, I'm playing down the deers, I'm healing up, I'm staying out of lethal range from the Alchemist, and then I'm Alexiling twice, and then the game is over. So it's a pretty simple cookie cutter matchup. But the Golem Rampage and the super strong opener were very scary at the beginning. How'd you guys do?
I played against Draconic Duelist in top 8. I've seen this deck a few times, and like I don't know, every time I see it, it looks like pretty whatever. I just kind of like played the game. Looped Seiryotennan, cleared his board. I did a Faust turn, like with Seiryotennan, and spawn the Riley to clear board and leave up like a 4/4 and a 5/5. And my opponent wasn't able to clear the Faust, so I was able to kill him from like 14 the next turn. So that was pretty sick.
Huge plays.
Yeah, mine, let's see, this is quarterfinals. Oh, this is Amulet Haven. Oh, yeah, this match was great, actually. Freaking shout out to this guy. He was a fantastic player. I don't know his name, obviously, but I really enjoyed this match. And fortunately, I've been watching Dean play like all day, so I'm like, okay, I know what this deck kind of does. Some slight, matchup knowledge here. So I think I found out by like turn like 2 or 3 that it was Amulet Haven, because I was thinking maybe it's like Marwyn or something. I don't know, but yeah. So that game, he held up 1 mana on, I think it was like turn 3 or turn 4, and I'm just like, does this deck play Barrage? And I was trying to remember, because I'm like, does Dean play Barrage? I'm like, I don't think he does. But like, this guy could be different, and I'm like, I should probably play around it, just because like I don't want to get blown out by it. So I made like a whole bunch of really dubious plays that like people would kind of look over and be like, what are you doing? Because like I would have like, I'd untap with like 3 bats, and I'll be like, I could swing for 3, but I'm like, I'm just gonna play the Vania. She becomes like a 5/5. I'm just gonna sack a bat, 3 to that, sack a bat, 3 to that, and 2 to your face, and then like swing 1, and then Zal it. And obviously he doesn't want to waste a barrage on 1 bat, so it goes through. And I'm like, all right, cool, pass. And like this kind of thing played out multiple times, where like I'd untap with bats, and then like I would like play the purple nun, tap her, sack a bat, and then just like do something else with the bats, and then I'd swing like 1 bat. And then of course you don't want to throw a barrage away on 1 bat. And at the end of the game, he was all like, hey, I've like never seen a bats player do that before. Like I've never seen a bats player play around barrage like this. And I was like, did you have it? Like I was curious, did you actually have it? And he's like, yeah, I did. And I'm like, oh my god, well thank god I did. But Yeah, that one was a Rose Queen finish as well. Just like it felt kind of one-sided because I just like accumulated so many resources. I just like built up such a huge hand and like used like my bats just kind of as a resource the entire game without attacking with them. I just used them as a resource essentially, and just by turn 8, I just had like this gigantic Rose Queen. And again, it was like either that turn or the turn after clean it up, and it was pretty decisive. But it was a fun game. I enjoyed that one a lot.
Yeah, I mean that is like the big weakness though, is like, right, like he gave you a lot of time to do even with the barrage. Just
Mm.
the question is, how many do you even play? That's I couldn't justify the barrage because it's like a one of in like some people's lists, and I'm like, one of barrage, I'm never gonna draw it. Like
Yeah,
that's that simple. I'm
he
not
had
gonna
it.
draw it. He had
It
it.
just I never gave him time to use it, as it
Uh,
never gave an opportunity.
yeah, you. It sounds like you tempoed him out, and then also have the Rose Queen. I mean, because like, what does he do?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
uh, then we get to go on to top 4. What actually was the
yeah.
top 4 match for me? I remember I win, thankfully. Oh god, guys, I don't have notes on this one. What did I fight? I remember. I fought puppets. I fought puppets, and
Yeah, it
I
was
thought,
Roy's team.
yeah.
Mm.
I thought it was over because he was running me down. He put down the tapper give 2, and he was like buffing his guys, but I had the removal on the 5/5, and then like I don't put cards down, and eventually I saw the Themis. Like I played the Themis, and it cleaned up like a 3-dude board, and I was like, please don't have the Anastasia. He never saw the Anastasia. And then Orcus doesn't get to do anything, and then on turn 7, so like right before I'm about to Alexiel, he just goes draw pass, and I go, oh, okay. Play down Tenko, heal 1 from my Candelabra, smack you for 2 pass, floating 3. So it's like now I have removal if he tries to go for a Noah push. I have removal for the Zweis, which he doesn't have at the moment, so he can't even do a Noah push. He needs like a turn of setup. And I've also said you can't just wait me out with your Orcus. I can just sit here and heal once and then like ping you for 2 every single turn until the game is over. So then he was forced to make a play, and then when he did, Alexiel came down, huge fucking life swing, and then ping him again, and then just end the game. That's like kind of that simple. But I did like the draw pass because I thought that was really funny. I was like, oh yeah, that is probably right, but also here's the punish, is the Tenko, which is why you need the Tenko. Every game I didn't see it was rough. How did your guys' games go?
I played the mirror in that game. This was like probably like this is when my deck just started like fucking imploding on me. He had the god open. If he saw summoning drills, ditch Riley into Seiryotennan into Faust, and just basically ran away with the game. I never saw a Riley. Oh no, I did see a Riley, and I had to hard play it, and then it got banished, so I had no access to it. And I never saw my Faust. I saw a Seiryotennan that just got answered every turn, and I pretty much couldn't do anything the whole game. He always had tempo, and he always cleared my board, and then eventually, like, he just whittled down my card advantage and killed me.
I feel like it's how the
Ooh.
dirt mirror goes.
Yeah. Mine was semifinals. This is versus Bats. This one, yeah, this is the mirror. So this one was pretty interesting. He unfortunately had to make a bunch of really bad plays. I forget the guy's name. He got really unlucky with this game. He did not open like any Vanias, and he actually showed me at the end of the game he mulliganed. His opening mulligan was like I think the 3-cost Vania and like Old Blood King and Old Blood King, and then like another card that he doesn't want to see early on. So he's forced to mulligan it. And he's like, I think that might have cost me the game, because then he just like did not see a Vania for the rest of the game until the very last turn. More on that in a second. And he's like, I think I shouldn't have mulliganed. And I'm all like, unfortunately, I would have mulled that too. Like you don't know. You don't know that you're not going to get Vanias. You see that open, you have to mull it. Like I think that was correct, but it ended up being worse. But so he had a couple times he was forced to just hard cast Gift for Bloodkin, the 2-drop. And normally you want to cast it for 0 and draw a card, but he was forced to cast it for 2 mana and not draw a card because Novanias. I think he had to do that twice, at least once early on. I remember seeing it come down, and I'm like, ooh, that's what you got to do just to get bats in play. And he was just he was a little on the back foot for like probably most of the game. You just had to make plays that you don't want to make. And then he was down to like, it was turn 7, I think, because I was starting to like plan out my Rose Queen turn, and I was looking to his board to see, okay, what kind of Rose Queen is he going to do? And I see he's got like 4 cards in hand. And I look at his graveyard and I see, I think, 2 Gift for Bloodkins. It might even have been all 3 at this point. And I'm all like, oh, okay, well, he's not going to have any of like the 0 mana burn with the Rose Queen, and he's probably only going to maybe make 2 mana back. So I'm like, I think I'm fine. So it gets to me, and I just like whirlwind slam my Rose Queen. I think I only got like 2 spells off of it, but I'm all like, his Rose Queen's not going to be anywhere near as powerful, so I'm just going to play it. And then I passed back to him, and he was forced to just like play an old Blood King. He found the 3rd copy, and he had to like play out his whole hand to just kind of try and clear my board. And then he was at, I think it was 5 at this point, like 5 life, I think, because I remember specifically my winning play was the Thorn Burst in my EX area that I did not have to cast on the Rose Queen turn. I did that to deal 3 to his face, and then I played Kudlock to just bring back Purple Raven, sack a bat, and burn for the final 2, and that was like the close. And yeah, he was. I could tell he was a little frustrated, which I would be too if I was in his position. It's like semifinals, and your deck is just like bricking the bed. So I get it.
Best of one problem.
Yeah.
It fucking sucks.
Best of one
it
problems. Yeah. Yeah, but that was that game. So got it, obviously.
Thankfully, dude, I've been so hungry for a 3rd again. The tournament turnout was small, but I've been down to the dumps, boys. We've been losing every event. So I was very happy that now we were fighting for 1st. Now I want the Kagamitsu. I came in only wanting the mat, but now I want the Kagamitsu. And what do I see across from Mia's sword? And I'm like, fuck, dude. I was hoping. Unfortunately, our round 5 opponents ended up losing in like the semis, and they ended up getting 3rd. But they lost to our opponents, who also had sword in the middle, so that's fucked up. But this guy, I lose the die roll, and I'm like, oh no, it's over. I have lost the die roll. And then my opponent says, I will go 2nd. And I think,
There's got to be a reason, right?
I go, oh, dude. That other guy, he would have destroyed me. You now? I get a chance. And Amulet Haven versus Sword is messed up. It's bad. It's really bad when you don't draw a Themis, even though you play down 2 Wills to overtake. When you don't see you only see 1 Alexiel. So, I start off with the Candelabra. I have the perfect curve. I think my opener was Candelabra, Phantom. I think it was like the globe with Charles on it. Was the globe with Charles on it in it? I know that I had the 3-drop thing, and I know that I had the Tenko. And I know that I played on the Candelabra, I played on some Amulet, and then I ended up, because he went like 1-drop War Dog, and I was able to like Evo, kill the War Dog, also kill the 1-drop with my Phantom Blade Wielder. And like, life was good. I got to put down the Tenko and start pinging stuff. But now Leod's on the board, and I can't get rid of him, and then he's going sideways, but when he goes sideways, more things are on the board, and I'm not seeing the Themises, I'm not seeing the Boost Kicker, I'm not seeing, like, anything, and so I'm like, kill 2 things, heal a little bit, pass, kill 2 things, heal a little bit, pass, get poke, 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 and then we get to turn 7, where I have played down, so if it's turn 7, I've basically played down the Amulet, the White Fang Temple. I forget what turn it was. It should have been 5, right? Because it goes 5, then 6. And it was going to pop on my turn 8. It was going to pop on my Alexiel turn, so I must have promoted on turn 6. And so I get the deer. And I'm staring at this board of, like, 2 dudes. And I'm staring at this Alexiel in my hand, and my opponent's at 18 health. And I'm like, if I double tap him with Alexiel, the game is over. But I don't have a second Alexiel in hand, but I have a Will to Overtake I can promote this turn. And if I promote the Will to Overtake, it means that I sacked a different amulet. But my deer has to get rid of something, and I have a candelabra on my... I have 2 candelabras on my board. I had put down a second one for more healing. And now that was like starting to come up because I couldn't sack it. And if I sacked... Because my board was like double candelabra, a White Fang Temple with 2 counters, the Tenko Shrine, and my deer. And my deer's got a sack to be able to play down the Will to Overtake. And I'm like, if I can win off of 2 Alexiels, this game is over. I don't have to do anything else. That's all I need, and the game is over. I'm getting run down. The more turns I give him for around me, I lose. He hasn't seen one yet. He hasn't seen an Aether. Like, this game is... I mean, I haven't seen a Themis, but, like, I need to go for this fucking win. And so I ended up sacking the White Fang Temple that could have summoned, like, removal, so that I could go for the double turn of Alexiel. And then I put down my Scry 3, and I moved them all to the bottom. They were all garbage. I think there was, like, a deer in there, and that was, like, the only relevant card. And then I slammed it. I draw garbage for turn, Alexiel, leave up 4 damage. He kills the Alexiel, and then I put down a second Scryer, see garbage. And then I'm starting to sack amulets on my board. If I see Alexiel, I win. I don't see it. If I see Themis, I can clear. I don't see it. Draw like 2 more cards after scrying 6, and then I lose. I have double Space Needle in hand, float 4, pass. He swings. He's got 4 dudes on board that are like lethal, and I send. The problem was I don't know what's in the hand. I actually, if I had Space Needle... Guys, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to say this right now. I've thought about this a lot. I've thought about this turn a lot. I Space Needled away 4 damage, and then I Space Needled away 2... I Space Needled 5 damage. It was like a 3-1 and like a 3-3. So I got rid of 5. And then he goes in with the 2-2, and I killed that as well. And then his response is Celia Evo game. And I'm like, well, I could have killed the Celia Evo. If I would have... I could have took the 2 and killed the Celia Evo. If I had done that, I had lived. His hand was Hemera, which when I thought about it, because he had Leod attack me, if I had took the Leod for 2 and the Black Queen for 2, that's 4, and then he would have had Steelclad Knight plus the normal Knight, and then the Hemera wouldn't have had any zones to summon, and then his spell would have only stuck an additional 2, and I would have took 6 of my 8 health. I thought I would be able to punish like around me that would have been able to get me. So I definitely shotgunned my effects, and that definitely cost us. That cost me the game. I'm sorry to let that know now. It's like something that in the moment I was like, dude, I got it. Like, right, I have to get rid of these cards. And then I thought I was dead to too many things otherwise, because like, right, like he has like the dogs, he has like the burns from those, all those other cards. But I think it's like one of those things where it's like you sit there and you agonize over a turn at the end of a tournament, especially when it's like the finals. It's the grand finals.
Yeah.
And you're sitting there and you're thinking about your game forever. But yeah, so that was my game. Overall ended 4-4. I was pretty happy with it, but I'll let them talk, and then we'll talk about our decks.
Yeah, my game was against the Mirror again. Pretty much a repeat of top 4 game. Opponent didn't like open perfectly, but I opened garbage. I don't think I saw a single like bomb in my deck. I didn't see a Seiryotennan, I didn't see a Riley, I didn't see a Faust. Meanwhile, my opponent went Faust into Faust. So I pretty much like just could not play the game against him at all. I think I saw like an Ancient Alchemist a little later on that like kept me alive, but eventually he just like the board was too much for me to answer, and he eventually just killed me with burns and face damage that I couldn't respond to.
Yeah, so mine was against Necrocharge. The Nephthys, right?
Yeah.
The Let's Go Gambling.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's this deck?
Yes, that was the deck that I had to fight. So it's actually kind of funny because I'm sitting across from him, and I could be wrong. I believe he had a Vania playmat. I'm like 85% sure he had a Vania playmat. Obviously, his leader is Abyss, and I'm like, oh boy, the mirror. And then like, so I mulligan for the mirror, right? And then like, and then he plays a bell ringer, and I'm like,
What does it
and
mean?
I'm thinking,
What does it
I'm
mean?
like, yeah. And I'm thinking like, okay, I have seen some Japanese lists that played bell ringer. It's not common, like most of them do not, but I've seen like 2 or 3 like JP Bats lists that played triple bell ringer. And I'm like, I mean, I could see it. You dig through faster. It like, you know, maybe like you can protect some of your more Vanias or something. Like, okay, sure. And then like he plays, I think it's a second bell ringer. And then on one of my turns, I go to swing into the bell ringer, and he sacks the bell ringer to draw 2, the soul conversion.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, I've seen some bat lists on soul conversion, sure. And then it goes to his turn 3. It might have been turn 4. I think it's his turn 3, and he plays Nicola, and I'm like, okay, this is not vampires. This is not bats. I'm like, I know exactly what this deck is now because Ollie made it, and I've played it against his like multiple times. I'm like, I know what this deck is now. I'm like, okay, hold up, rechanging our strategy here. And then I believe he completely whiffed on the Nicola, which was unfortunate. The mid game, I don't remember too much. It was just kind of like a back and forth, like, you know, Necrocharge versus Bats kind of gameplay. Whoever you think that would play out. Yeah.
I've never seen it.
Yeah, I mean, like both of our decks just kind of doing what our decks do, but he had a couple whiffs on a couple effects, I believe. He never got the Nephthys. I never saw it, but I ended up being able to like build up a pretty good Rose Queen, and it was a pretty decisive Rose Queen finish yet again. I mean, she's MVP of the non-vampire cards, MVP of the vampire deck. But yeah, that ended up going pretty quickly as well, I think. I mean, both of us are playing pretty fast. Like both of us know our decks really well, so we're just kind of playing. It was over like pretty short, and then I got to, you know, watch the actual grand finals play out. But guy was really sweet. He was just, I think, just kind of playing for fun. I could tell he really liked the deck, and it was a fun game. It was definitely fun playing something like that again. I like playing against Nephthys. I think it's a really cool deck, and definitely surprised me. Those first 3 turns, I'm sitting here just like pouring over in my head. I'm just like, okay, it's Bats and it's on Bellringer. What? But yeah, fun game. Rose Queen is insane, and that's pretty much how that went.
So Greg was our hard carry. Me and Ollie 4-4. Greg 7-1. Literally the best. Have to team with you again someday. I'll try not to feed as hard next time.
I mean, I will say that like a little carry from the list. I mean, Bats is pretty strong this format. I believe it's a 1-for-1 copy of Ryan Wibberley's list, who is the world champion. Yeah, it's the list. It's the Wibberley special. I think I named it like Go Bloodkin in the app. I was literally that morning thinking of changing the deck name to the Wibberley special before submitting it for deck reg, and I didn't for some reason. I kind of wish I did. But yeah, shout out to Wibbs for an amazing deck.
After this tournament, I was thinking about our team comp, Ollie, like in the middle like of the tournament, and I was like, I think that me bringing Amulet Haven was bad because you were on dirt. Because I was like, dude, we both get... I think that Bats is like... I don't know why... Like, it feels like it's the best deck. It does just feel like the best deck by a mile. In our testing, that's the way it felt. And we were both bad against it. That was the real thing when I was like playing. I was like, dude, are we both of us are bad into Bats? So like, we're losing 1/3 of our games, right? Or 2/3 of our games is the way I looked at it.
Yeah, that's also, I noticed, I only fought the mirror once. So both of you guys, one of you had to fight Bats like every single round.
And we don't have,
I only took
we
it
have
once.
awful matchups. We have awful matchups into it. So that's the rough part.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was my thought like when I was playing the deck. I think Amulet Haven's like almost good outside of the Bat matchup. So like in a teams format, it's okay, but I do think that you would want to get dirt off of your team if you do want to bring Amulet Haven again. because otherwise, I think that coming up next season, you're gonna see. I think you're gonna see bats on every team again.
I mean, I expect Sword to probably be the third.
Yeah, Sword goes up a peg.
And I think Dirt beats Sword. So.
Okay.
And I think it beats all the other random, like, weird random decks that people can play. So I didn't really feel too. It's also
I
just
was
the deck
so down on Sword. So okay. Let me explain why I was down on Sword. Is we were testing stuff like Draconic Duelist, and we were testing stuff like Mysteria, right? So like we were testing like those like random offshoots that Japan didn't have this format, and that honestly were like overshadowed a little bit, right? Like Mysteria, you think, okay, well, people are gonna bring Dirt. What if they don't bring Dirt? Well, one, Sword already loses a little bit to Rune, like you said. Mysteria is even worse. And then Draconic Duelist beats Sword most of the time as well. So it's like this thing where it's like multiple things in testing were just better than Sword. And so I got like really afraid to bring it. I didn't feel the power though. Other people were also on this War Dog thing, and I wasn't. So maybe that was the difference maker, is that my list was a little too slow.
That was weird. Like I was really low on War Dog as well. Like I saw it, I thought it was cute. Maybe that's just my opinion on it. Like I clearly did not see the potential of War Dog. I saw it and I'm like, oh, what the dog doing anyway? And I just didn't even really think about it. But clearly it works.
It was I mean, it was like more annoying because it was like Sword Flash Panther, some of the dog, and I was like, dude, fuck this. I'm like dying because I'm like already struggling. I'm not seeing the Themis, and this Sword Flash Panther's bringing back the dog. I'm like, bro, I'm just dying. I'm dying because my deck doesn't do anything. It wasn't hard to kill the dog, so I don't know. I can't
burn
tell.
Damage.
I can't tell.
Maybe that's just like the extra reach that Sword needed. Just a little extra burn on the side. Maybe that's enough.
Yeah, maybe, but yeah, I mean, so you're on the best deck. Ollie was on Dirt, and then I don't think you guys have changed it, because I said afterwards I don't think I would have changed my deck. I don't think I would have brought something else. Obviously, you wouldn't have. Ollie, would you have brought something other than Dirt? Did you think the Dirt was the play?
I was pretty fine with bringing Dirt. I think Dirt's probably. I still think it's the second best deck in the room.
Okay.
I would probably agree. Yeah.
Okay. Well, thanks for coming on. Oh wait, yes.
I will notice that what is it? The Whispers almost never came up. I see why it's included in the list, but like I had it almost every single game. I just never really had a chance to really use it, which was interesting.
It's hard to hold the mana, right?
Yeah.
It's the anti-Riley, anti-Vania card.
Yeah. I still think it's correct to play it. It's just like I don't know. It felt bad in this set of 8 games.
Yeah,
well, that's why it's a one of.
It's a one of that's supposed to be like, aha, you forgot to respect it, or it's like a thing that like if your back's to the wall, you just go, oh, I could have it, and then your opponent goes, man, if I slam and they have it, I lose. So I'm gonna do something else, and then you go, aha, thank God I scared them by bricking. So I think it's more of like a thing that you want to have like people think that you're playing regardless. So the question is, do you cut Whispers and then just like pretend you have it when you need it? That's the real question. That's the real question.
No open deck list tournaments. There we go.
Yeah, but yeah, thanks for coming on, guys. It was a long little discussion. It was fun teaming with you guys. I hope to maybe team with you again, Greg and Ollie. I'll be teaming with you in Philly. So, right? No.
Wait, no, I'm not going to Philly. You're teaming with Broderick, right?
I'm teaming with you in Toronto.
Toronto, that's it, yeah.
Yeah, for Weiss.
Yep.
Shit. It's okay, though. I didn't need you. Because I have a better team. I got a better player than you, Ollie. I'm sorry.
You got the world champion on your team.
That's right. Friends in high places. Thank you very much. But yeah.
Peace.
See you guys.
Yep.